My name's Christian. I own a business, so I do a nightclub in Brisbane. I do that, and I also got a personal brand as well. I'm a hype MC for nightclubs. But what I'm stuck in, about 4 months ago, I started another business, printing shirts, and I'm sort of in between. Should I cross brand or use the Shades logo as the printing thing and the nightclub thing? What do you suggest?
It doesn't matter.
Thanks, Scotty.
I mean, I'm being frank with you. Like, people overthink shit that doesn't matter. It's not gonna matter if you use one logo or separate logos. Like, it doesn't matter where I use Vayner and where I don't, Wine Library or Gary Vee or Vayner. It doesn't matter. Like, I love when people wanna talk to me about the name of their business. Nobody cares. Nobody knew what Google meant or Facebook meant or McDonald's meant or Coke meant. A name doesn't matter. What you do to make a name matter is what matters, right? So nobody gives a shit, bro. Just pick one and fucking go.
So it's just all about branding, basically?
Yeah, it's about the execution, right? Like, it didn't matter if he called himself, you're wearing a shirt of a guy who called himself multiple things. He was the Notorious B.I.G. and Biggie Smalls and plenty of, like, it doesn't matter. Execution. People want to debate these things because they think that's the unlock. It's not. Period.
Yeah. This is actually one of the shirts that I printed, by the way. Just putting it out there.
I figured. All right, let's move. Let's go. Red shirts, let's go. Give me some, hey.
Gary, Steve.
Let's get some people in the back.
At the end of your audiobook, Ask Gary Vee, you said something that hit me in the face in a good way, that you never met your granddad or something, and that played a part in the way that you document.
Yes.
Curious to know, how much does that still play a part in your day-to-day decisions, and why does so few people really get that? I never got to meet my granddads either, and I was like, shit, it really affects me. So that's my question.
I think so few people think, I don't think people understand, I think people think I just talk. Like, in 50 years, they'll understand that I meant it. Like, I care about my legacy. That's why I think about it. Like, I only care about my legacy. When I made $100,000 a year, I achieved my only financial goal that I ever had. Somewhere around 13, I was like, it'd be really cool to make 100,000. You know, like, when you're coming from humble, that seemed big, you know? So that was it. Why? Because I always felt something in the middle of my stomach that I had something. I care about my legacy. I love that my great-great-great-grandchildren are literally watching this right now. I'm long gone, but they're watching this. Hey, Jeremiah. You know, and so, I mean, that's cool. I think it's super neat. Like, I think I have a lot to give. I think I've impacted. How many people here think, and don't make me feel good, how many people here truly think that I've impacted them in a positive way? I mean, look at that. And so, like, but I'm not going to be able to do that for my great-great-grandkids. But now I am. Because if I can do it to you, I can definitely do it to them, because they're going to watch everything. Imagine there was film like this. Imagine, how many people watch Daily V? Thank you. Could you imagine if Daily V was about your great-great-grandmother? You know how fun that would be? You'd be like, oh shit, I do that same thing that she, like, you know, it's so cool watching my daughter do things that I do, like thinking how those get passed on. It's going to be neat. Plus, my man, do you know why I obsess over my legacy? Do you know why I document everything? Because I know I'm good. And when you know you're good, both in your skill and in your heart, you're not scared of the camera. And so it matters to me because I care about my legacy, not about the short-term money. Everybody's so worried about tomorrow that it doesn't allow them to see what's actually happening here. And that's why I always recommend people spending time with older people, retirement home. I'm a big fan because you get to see regret and resentment up close, and it starts to help you frame up a life. And I did something very weird. I don't talk about this a lot publicly, and you guys know a lot about me. I spent so much time with old people when I was little. Like, from 5 to 13, if I went to a playground and there was like a grandfather visiting or a grandmother, it wasn't just a grandfather thing, I would literally stop playing and go sit with them and sit on the bench and just ask them random questions. I was a weird-ass kid, you know? But it makes a lot of sense to me now because I'm way more wisdom-oriented than like my energy acts. I mean, my energy's so micro-fast and intense and alpha and male and competitive, and, you know? But when you start peeling away, it's very obvious why it matters to me. I'm only about my legacy. I'm only about what everybody here says behind my back. You got it. Let's do it. Who do we have? Hey.
Hey, Gary.
How are you?
Jordan. Good, thanks. So I'm a little bit torn. I've been in your content for about 18 months.
Thank you.
And I've really struggled to launch my business.
Okay.
Self-awareness was a big part of that. I started a life coaching thing a while ago and never really felt connected to it. My history is one of drug addiction and car accidents and time in prison.
Yes.
And so I go around to youth centres and high schools and I talk for free.
Yes.
And that's actually what I love to do.
I
But
love
I've
it.
never found a way to brand myself and make money because I feel like part of me's got a shame thing around it.
I understand.
Where the family and the people involved that were hurt in my accident. So I don't even know why I got up to talk, but listening to your Facebook strategy, I think I want to make some videos, but I want to be really sensitive around.
Well, so let me ask you, let's actually have this conversation for a second, and I appreciate you standing up. Are you still in a place where you want to protect the ashamed part? I feel very comfortable that you just brought it up. So you are in a place where listen, it's your truth, you're on to the next chapter. Is there still reasons to hold it to the vest because it can affect others, or are you still in the last stages of being okay with putting it out there?
I'm not sure. So I crashed a car in 2009. One of my passengers died, part of our crew. I was heavily drunk and on drugs. And I've never really been able to connect with the family involved. Obviously, they have their reasons. So I don't know whether I'm going to stir something up for them by writing a book.
I
And
get it.
people tell me
So
I
first
should
of all, I adore you for that answer, right?
Thanks.
And the best part is, it allows me to give you a really good piece of advice. People are confused. Intent is an incredibly important part of all this. The reason I'm so out there and so the way I am is because I know what my intent is. You may not like it at first. You may think I'm cocky and a douchebag. I'm cool with that because I'm going to win in the end. Like, I prefer you all started out not liking me because it's more fun the other way, right? So, brother, the fact that you have that intent, I'm going to really try to force you to do this. You should reach out to them, call, go ahead.
I wrote a letter.
What's that?
I wrote a letter
Great.
years ago telling
Great.
them how I felt it wasn't well received.
Respect. Do you think they're on Facebook? You're not sure.
I blocked them because when I got out of prison, I got sent some unkind messages.
Yep.
So it wasn't nice, so I unblocked them. I blocked them to just move on with my life.
I respect that. How long ago was that?
When did I get out? 2014.
So look, listen, if you want to, listen, there's only one way to move forward. It's reconcile the past, right? So you need to do everything you can. And listen, you could still talk about your past without mentioning names. You know, for a long time, if anybody's watching carefully, up until about 6 months ago, I never really made it as clear that I own nothing of Wine Library. Only until about 6 months ago, as my popularity has exploded in the last year, a lot of people are saying, well, you can't listen to him because his dad gave him a $4 million business. And I needed to eliminate that excuse for the kids that wanted to listen. So I started talking about something I wasn't comfortable with, which was, talking about me building such a big business and owning none of it, I was worried could shed negative light on my dad, to be very frank. And I wasn't comfortable talking about it. So I've gone 10 years being in public without ever really clarifying it. I've only started clarifying it now because I don't think it sheds bad light on my dad, family businesses, everybody knows it. And more importantly, I have to eliminate that excuse from the lexicon so that people realize, what my journey actually is so they can work hard because, God, people are really looking for the excuse to not work hard. And so anyway, brother, you can tell your narrative and put it out there without referencing the family. Sure, they could Google it and figure it out, but as long as your intent is right, you need to start recording those talks that you're doing for free, putting them on Facebook. I have good news. It's going to work out.
Thanks so much.
You got it. Let's go back there if we can.
Hey, Gary.
How are you?
Very good. Again. Now, just as like a practical question, you've been talking about Instagram and
Yeah.
Facebook and
Let's
everything.
be practical.
I think for everybody, put some numbers on it. So say a business owner here, they had $50,000 a year to spend on ads. What percentage would you recommend?
If we're going to go
real general,
look, that's
I
the
know.
problem. What kind of business, right? If it's B2B, with only $50,000, I'd go LinkedIn and Facebook, right? If it's selling T-shirts, to people under 40, I would be 80% Facebook and Instagram with a little bit of Google AdWords of people that are typing in an intent.
For all the people that have never used Facebook, Instagram, and digital media before, what would you say is a really good place for them to start as far as percentage wise? So you go, all right, $2,000 per month into that, $2,000 into that, $1,000 into that.
You're not going to achieve what you're trying to do here, and I love it.
Yeah.
You're doing the right thing. The problem is it's super nuanced.
Yeah.
But the reality is that, like I said earlier, they've got to spend money on it. How many people here already, besides Facebook and Instagram, spend over $10,000 a month in marketing? Raise your hands. Raise them high. So not a lot, right? How many people here spend $3,000 a month in marketing? Raise your hands, right? How many people here don't spend any money on marketing? Raise your hands. Right? So you've got a lot of differences.
Yeah.
What's amazing about all this is no matter where those hands went up, more than 50% of their energy should be on Facebook and Instagram. That's enough to start.
All right. Yeah.
Energy,
Yeah.
which means either organic engagement and creative because you have no fucking money, or that percentage of your money, go Google and learn, test and learn, test and learn.
Yeah. All right. Thank
Cheers. Let's get can we get red shirts? Sir, yeah, can you go all the way back there? Good. Hello. How are you?
Hello, my name's Robin. I'm an exercise physiologist and I run a private practice.
Awesome.
So working in the health industry, it's a little bit harder to kind of push people to come and see you because ultimately at the end of the day, I want people to come see me if they need my help.
Okay.
Do you have any advice for standing out on those social media platforms?
Well, look, it doesn't. You have to understand this. Your dynamic doesn't change if you advertise on Facebook and Instagram, or if you advertise in the print, or if they're all the same dynamics, right? So, are you getting most of your customers from referrals and other dynamics, or how are you getting them now?
Mostly allied health and GP referrals.
Right. So now you're looking for more upside because you've got a B2B dynamic that's driving to your business, right? I would just put out tremendous content that is the best advice you have for the general public. Look what I do. I give away all my stuff for my best advice. Do you know how many advertising and social media agencies have been built on the back of my free content that are doing $1 to $3 million a year? Right? Like just left and right. And it makes me happy. It makes me happy that something I'm doing for free is helping others because I don't think it's coming out of my pocket. That's where everybody gets confused. People get confused because you think when you're doing something good, it comes at your expense. It doesn't. There's so much out there. I'm never going to get to all of it. I'd much rather have your admiration or love towards me because I helped you. So you should just be putting out your best advice, especially because you're getting your business from B2B to begin with, and then that will create halo effects for the entire brand. Because right now you're in transactional sales funnel on the back end. You need to create brand. My advice to you, there's a good way to stand out. Give away the best advice you have forever, for free, for as long as you possibly can.
That's fantastic.
You
Awesome.
got it.
Thank you.